Oh, hey Reese, what's going on today? Hi, how you going? It is, of course, me, Reese T. O'Leary of perpelFLAME and Company. That's right, perpelFLAME. And you are joining me here for another episode of Soulful Sunday. Oh, why do I always get an itchy nose? Ugh. Now, before we get started, I'm going to scratch my nose again. Before we get started, I want to remind you all, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And of course, hit that little bell notification so that you can get notified every single time we drop a new video here on the YouTube channel. Now, today's episode is going to be a really interesting one, I think. Well, I think they're all interesting, but that's just me. But before we get into the episode, don't forget, it is incumbent upon you to make sure that you are also researching and looking into these things and having you think about what I have to share with you today, because there's a reason why I'm sharing it, right? But the topic I want to talk to you all about is, of course, ancestors. Now, this has been an interesting one for me to sit and think about for a number of different reasons, because for me, ancestors, when I think about it, I don't just think about my own ancestors. I think about all the ancestors that have come before us all, and, you know, how we have been brought to a certain point of humanity. We've been brought to a certain point of our own lives, you know, on an individual basis from our ancestors, you know. Most people, I think, when they do think of ancestors, think about their own lineage, you know, your grandparents, your great-grandparents, your great-great-grandparents, etc. And also all those people in their own family lines. But for me, as I said, I think about the whole world and where we have all come from as a lineage and how we have come to be. And as someone that works with spirit on a daily and regular basis, lineage and also ancestors is really important to me, and not just for a spirit basis, so my mediumship, but also on a basis of my craft and my practice of how I perform my craft. You know, I'm constantly calling in the ancestors, whether that be Grandmother Water Spirit, one of the primordial beings here on this planet, whether that be Hecate or Hecate, whether that be Pan, right? I'm constantly calling upon and calling within me and into my world the ancestors of the world and of this planet. Why is my eye now itchy? Oh, there's so much dust and stuff in here. I'm so sorry. I'm constantly calling upon the ancestors to guide me, to assist me, to bring forth their knowledge and wisdom and everything that they have to offer and share with me. Because, quite frankly, they do have a lot to share with me. And you, in fact. You know, without the ancestors, we wouldn't be sitting here right now. You wouldn't be sitting here watching me with however you're watching me, whether that's on a telephone or, you know, a mobile device or on your computer. But you wouldn't be sitting here right now watching me if it wasn't for our ancestors. Nor would I be sitting here providing you with this message and understanding of, you know, thinking about the ancestors. It just wouldn't be so, you know. And I think that's something really both special and, you know, deep to think about for just a moment in time. It's interesting. I'm here in Australia, and I don't know why this just came to mind, but I'll talk about it anyway. But we have something here in Australia called Anzac Day, which refers to Australian New Zealand Army Corps. And that is a day in April every year where we think about all those who have gone to war for our country and have fought or not fought and died for whatever reason. but just people who have sacrificed, you know, in war for us and our country, and allowed us to be in the society that we are in. And I think taking away, you know, the point of war from that part of the conversation, that's actually a really brilliant message, you know, because that's ultimately what we are doing when we are thinking and talking about our ancestors, is what they've brought to the table for us in order to be in this position that we are in today. And I don't know how many people do think about ancestors on a regular basis. You know, I don't often hear people talking about ancestors on a regular basis, but for me, personally, I think that everybody should be thinking and talking about their ancestors, and the global ancestors, on a daily basis, because to pay homage and to pay respects is to also show gratitude, and to live in the attitude of gratitude is what is going to bring us all to a high state of joy. I mean, I'm so grateful for the ancestors that came before me, who enabled the creation of this iPad or this microphone or this computer, or, you know, what you see behind me, or this roof over my head. So grateful. Without this, again, we would not be in the position we are in here today. Whether it's for a car, you know, whether it's for, you know, telecommunications. I can think of so many things where I think, wow, imagine if one of our ancestors in our human lineage did not think of XYZ thing. It wouldn't have brought us to XYZ point in time, and we wouldn't be here experiencing XYZ thing, right? You know, you could apply it, obviously, to so many different things, but doesn't that just make you more grateful? It does me. It does I, you know? It makes me really, it makes my heart space just expand, and just, it's almost like I wish I could meet every single person in our human history and just say thank you for your participation. But the flip side of this conversation is, what, you know, we've done an episode on legacy before, and legacy is kind of the flip side of this conversation in a way, because it's kind of like, what legacy are you leaving? You know, one day you're going to be an ancestor too. One day, that's what you're growing into right now, every single day. Every move you make, every action you take, every circumstance and situation you participate in, the way in which you react to that, the way in which you emote, you're leaving a legacy, and you are contributing to the world and the greater collective consciousness by way of said legacy. And one day someone is going to look back and say, wow, look at the way that particular ancestor participated in the human collective experience, and look at what that brought for us. You know, I do hope to leave an indelible mark on society, and I hope to leave a mark on the greater collective consciousness, where people look back and go, wow, look at what Reese did. Thank you, Reese. You know, everything I do in life, I feel I do from a basis of, what would someone think if they looked back upon my actions one day? And I try and make sure that I live by no regrets, and I live a life that is in constant thoughtfulness, you know, for what is potentially going to be tomorrow. I live in the moment for tomorrow. So I think everyone should think about their ancestors every day, and not just their own family history ancestors, but the ancestors of the land, the ancestors of, you know, the earth, the ancestors of time, because every single ancestor has contributed to where you are, who you are right now. And isn't that a wonderful thing? Isn't that something to be grateful for? Absolutely. Absolutely. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed today's episode of Soulful Sunday, and I hope I've given you something to think about. You can catch me in another video tomorrow for our collective consciousness readings, and I will see you then. Bye. Catch us on the flip side.